We've
As you can
argued
tell.
about Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, Kendrick Bourne.
As you can tell, we're trying to get our things
The
together.
wide receivers are mid.
We're trying to get
The
our
wide
shit
receivers
together,
are
but
mid.
it's a little
That's how we've been spending our last.
a little more
2 minutes.
complicated than
Wide
expected.
receivers are mid, bro. But at the same time, the
All
tight end
was
is better.
one
There are
mention
so many other things we could be.
Who's better? running
Daniel
back-
Jones
running
at
back
quarterback
wise, who's better, Saquon
leads
or
to
Ramondre
this.
Stevenson?
You know I was gonna keep all
This
that.
is us on a daily.
Tight end.
I
who's
know.
Better, Darren
That's why I'm
Waller
putting
or
it up there.
Darren Waller or Hunter Henry?
Huh? Darren Waller.
We are
what are we
seriously
talking
sitting
about?
here at the
Waller.
beginning of
What are
our
we
show.
talking
We're not sponsored.
Are we rolling?
We are seriously sitting here before the show
I'm cutting this out.
debating
Oh, no. I'm keeping this.
about Mac Jones
You're not editing.
and
This
Daniel
is-
Jones.
I wanted them to know. I want the people to know what I have to deal with.
Not sure
On a
why
regular basis
we
with these
even
guys.
have this extensive
Clowns.
conversation
wanna
about
hear
two below average quarterbacks.
Why are you always grabbing the mic? You never had that. God. We share this. This is ours.
Listen, Deuce.
Alright. Well,
You
welcome
just gonna
into-
listen, comma. You ain't gonna even finish
Hey,
your
No one calls you that.
Look at the
This is why you should just
selfish. See, whenever you grab the mic, you being selfish.
Yes.
It's
Alright.
not about you.
Welcome in.
So-called Beyonce of the group.
I'm the Bobby. Oh, yeah, you can say that. Beyonce,
All right.
Bobby Brown.
Welcome into another episode of Outspoken. I just decided to change it up and start a little different. Just let you guys see a little behind the scenes of the arguing. I can't wait until we actually get on the air. It has to happen no matter when. So that was a little taste of what we got going on. So
Y'all ain't earned that. Y'all didn't deserve that. I won't say earn. Y'all ain't deserve that. That was just nonsense. We was wasting our time, wasting our breath, wasting energy that we should have been providing to the week 4 of
trying
week
to
5.
right now.
Oh, my bad. See, I'm over here messing up the weeks. That's your job. That's why it's your job. Go ahead.
So
Handle your business.
to get things started properly, as always, I'm Cordell.
Marcus.
E-Rob.
Deuce, baby.
No one calls you that.
All right,
I like it better than E2. E2 sounds silly.
does.
So we over here struggling with the mic.
sounds
Because you keep touching
it
it.
sounds like a Star Wars character. I'm not even gonna lie. E2, it does. It really does.
All right,
Whatever.
all right. So let's get this thing started. We are now into week 5. Week
Yep.
5.
Yes, sir. Week 5.
Man, we're in October now. It has been a beautiful September. September champs. You want to do something like that? September champ. Who would you call the September champ?
What is the champ criteria?
Just
Yeah,
your
whatever
team,
your
the team
criteria
that you
is.
think
So
is
not
the
the-
best of September. Your September champ.
My September champ.
I think we know where you're going with yours.
Come back to me. I don't have a September
What?
champ.
I've
I've never thought about a September champ.
I think
really-
my September champ has got to be the San Francisco 49ers. They've been winning games by double-digit points, and they've just looked great against teams that they played in September. And you can only look great against the teams that you play, and they've looked great against teams they play. So you got to go with the 49ers, even though I think the Eagles are still the best team in the NFC.
Thought about like the player superlatives by this point. I ain't thinking about it in terms of a whole team.
I'm going to agree with Marcus and go with the San Francisco 49ers. They've played the cleanest football of all the teams in the league so far. They haven't had any locker room issues, no on-field issues. Brock Purdy's come out. Brock Purdy has looked like himself. He's picking up where he left off last year. So I got to go with the Niners, man. They're hot right now.
They have looked very well rounded. I do like what they bring to the table. Shout out Christian McCaffrey again, best running back in football right now.
CMC.
He been holding it down. What 900 total scrimmage yards? I'm getting there. 900 total scrimmage yards. Got all the weapons. Got all the mind. Kyle Shanahan doing his thing. September champ.
All this to still think about.
Right?
the season.
That's crazy.
It makes no sense.
It's a weird
makes
weird
sense.
question to me. There's a lot we haven't
He just
seen that I
can't
want to
choose.
see. I feel like before we.
He's
But-
indecisive, folks.
Clearly.
But I don't.
Clearly.
Y'all chose the 49ers. I probably would say the 49ers. I was trying
I
to
mean,
make
it's
that
okay.
Right,
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
fine to
49ers.
agree with the 49ers.
You
It's
just want to
okay
be
to agree.
different.
That's
Right.
all. I really did. That's my bad.
Just
You're
be
right.
Just
All
say
right.
the 49ers.
The 49ers. They've been the most well-rounded team.
I
that
told you
we've
can't
seen.
trust people named Deuce.
Not really.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nobody's ever said
Alright.
that. It's not about trust.
Yeah,
no
Cordell.
one's ever said what? No one's ever said Deuce.
Hey.
I knew it.
So
Hey,
who I
hey,
think,
hey.
who I
That's not
think,
what I said.
Put some
Look at
respect
you.
on
who
him.
I
I don't
think
like y'all's framing.
is the
You usually
September
go
champ.
on whatever stank you want.
is the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh,
Alright.
that's a surprise.
We love that.
It's
We're
because
all in
you,
agreement.
for some reason, think I'm not objective. Anyways, I think that the San Francisco.
Only when you're called out.
No, because I just you see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm gonna take them simply because I think that you have to give credit to consistency. Because it's that simple. Like I can't sit here if I'm judging it Bills versus 49ers. The Bills absolutely, I think their peak was higher in September.
That's fair.
But I'm gonna say that there's something of value to somebody who hasn't had a letdown game. So I'm gonna give that to the 49ers.
Is it 3 straight games of 24 plus?
Yes.
For the Bills? Okay.
Or
That's
20,
the only-
28?
I thought it was 24. But that, I mean,
That's
that's
still
just
something.
it's still it's a very impressive bounce back from the season opener for sure. I mean, that season opener was a stinker, and that really wasn't the Bills that we thought would show up on opening night. But hey, they bounced back really good. Got to give them credit for that.
It's nice to see Josh Allen holding it down too, not turning the ball over, putting y'all in positions to succeed.
Yep, bounce back really good. Had a phenomenal game against the Dolphins, and now we look forward to Week 5 now, where they're going to London, taking on Jacksonville.
All right.
It's their home game.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
on the track.
You deserve better.
Yep, I'll start,
Look
and
at that.
I will say that I think the Bills are in jeopardy of losing this game.
Oh.
I very much could easily see a letdown going into this game, on top of injuries that I'm assuming is going to happen as well. But even without the injuries in the secondary that I think is going to happen, I think there's going to be half the teams missing or half the players missing. But I do think 49ers, Jacksonville is probably going to take the dub on this one.
Interesting. Well, I'd have to say that looking at the matchup, I think that, the Bills just got a great defense, and I don't think the Jags have enough offense. We've seen that in the past few games where they just haven't been able to get going, whether it was against the Falcons, whether against the Chiefs. Like, honestly, it seems like since Week 1, they haven't looked great. I mean, the Texans do what they need to do on defense to stop them. Chiefs did what they needed to do to hold them without a touchdown.
Yeah.
Falcons essentially held the offense to 16 points. Like, it just gets to a point where it's just like, is this who the Jags are? And we know they started, slow last season.
Right.
And it's like, is that the same thing where they're going to start slow and finish strong? We don't really know yet. But for now, I just have to assume that they're just going to be flowing the same way they've been flowing since Week 2. And I think the Bills they might be ugly because they do have to travel all the way to London, but I think the Bills will get the win just based off of the Jags offense not clicking the way they have, or the way we thought they should.
I will push back on the defenses that they played. I feel like y'all's defense, the Falcons' defense, has been sturdy, and the Texans' defense also been sturdy. Like, it's not like they've been playing bad defenses, and they should be lighting these teams up. They're being
now
challenged.
the Bills is one of the best.
Oh, no, for sure. I'm with you. It's going to be interesting to see if they could keep up. They're going to have to keep up. Trevor Lawrence hadn't thrown for what? 270, let alone 300 yards. Travis Etienne, less than 3 yards a carry last week. I don't know what their issue is. Their offense is stale.
Man,
Why? We saw what the possibilities were. They got the skill set to bring certain things out of people, certain elements. Evan Ingram is a solid tight end as well. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense.
Looking at it right now, you got the Jags. They're 29th in third down conversion, 26 in red zone scoring, and they're 15th overall. They're 20th in scoring offense. So these are numbers you don't expect from a talented offense like that. Like, there's plenty of talent. That's not the question. It's just execution at this point.
Having drives stop is tough.
Right. Now, I will say this. Notice as well that Buffalo they're giving up some yards per carry. I don't know if that kind of sort of just, if that's still a result from opening night against the Jets. But
it is more so when they go up big, as we've said before. They're like, go ahead and run on us. We're not going to give up the big play. So they're letting teams run on them in the second half, from what I've noticed versus the second half.
well,
But
if that's the case, I mean, if Jacksonville wants to get their run game going, which I'm sure they are, because Travis Etienne has not been he's not had the hottest of starts to the season. This may be a game where they need to, especially when you're going up against a high-powered offense like Buffalo. You want to limit Josh Allen's possessions. You're not necessarily going to shut him down. You're not necessarily going to cuff him or lock him down. It's probably best to just make sure they have one or two less possessions a game than your offense. So we'll see what Jacksonville does.
A good job a few weeks ago, or the Jaguars in general, with getting him the ball, picking up first downs through the air with his legs. He had over 100 yards. It was against the Lions defense, I think. So
I think
see what happens. Y'all's defense not healthy neither.
Yeah, obviously they're gonna call it the Josh Allen game. That's what it's gonna be. Josh Allen versus Josh Allen.
Josh Allen had a couple sacks last week.
Well, not even that. Last time the two of them faced off against each other, defensive Josh Allen had himself a day.
Yeah, like 3 sacks, didn't he? Something like that.
Fumble recovery,
Yeah.
That
was that ugly 9-6 game or something like that they lost.
It was bad. So that's what I'm saying. I know there's hype and energy around Vaughn. They're saying that he may actually play and be on the snap count now, from what I'm hearing from insiders. Very questionable. I think they should just let him chill.
Just let him chill. The D line has been looking okay so far this year. I'm also
hearing that Leonard Floyd's got a foot injury, so they don't know what's going on with that. So I'm like, that may be the reason they mess around and put Vaughn back, because Floyd was supposed to be there for Vaughn. And if Floyd is gone, then they're like, well, what are we going to do here?
I said that in our last episode, man. Like, this defensive line has played much better than I thought they would without Von Miller. Gregory Rousseau has stepped up. Leonard Floyd has looked like a steal so far. So if that is the case, then I can understand why they want to resort to bringing Vaughn back. But if Leonard Floyd is able to play, I'm trying to stash Vaughn as long as I can.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I think the Bills should win it. I just don't think they're going to. Like, everything is lined up. They play a lot of man. You can play man if you want to on Diggs. You can do that if you want to. You don't have the corner to handle that.
No,
so
not at all.
I'm like, everything is lining up for it, but I'm like, I can sit here and easily see it just being an off day for whatever reason, and them just coming out flat and losing this game.
So then, all right. If they lose this game, can get just impacts anything season wise, or you think y'all are still good? It's just
because I never saw them. I have them coming into the season. I have them losing 3 or 4 games to begin with. I'm just saying this is probably
to begin
that's the
with.
thing, though,
like
but
the first couple months.
It'll be early.
Like I have them finishing the year
12-5, 13-4.
Yeah, I have them in that range. Gotcha. So I'm just trying to figure out which one of these games is going to be those games, and I'm like, I could see them going to London and getting the work from Jacksonville.
Makes sense. Jacksonville been chilling out there for the last 2 weeks. They all acclimated.
Do you guys think that's an advantage or a disadvantage?
Absolutely. I think it's more of an advantage for the team, for them being the team that's been over there more than any other team, because you already know your travel routine, you already know your practice habits, you already know like where you're staying and all that type of stuff, and just you're already familiar with the area. It's way different when you're going over there. I mean, I can't speak for everybody on the team, but I'm pretty sure there's some players that's going to London for the very first time, and that's enough to get you distracted. So
it's true. The counter argument that people have used is the Jacksonville Jaguars players may be like, yo, I want to be home. I want to be in my own bed. Like, I'm ready to go home. I want to be
I'm pretty
here
sure
different
anymore.
In terms of what makes their routine, makes them comfortable for game day. It could be the time of day in which it starts. I think games start, 3:30?
3:30
over there. That could mess with people in terms of how they prepare and stretch and warm up.
But see, because of them being over there a number of times, they sleep routines, sleep habits, and things like that. It's pretty much already down pat. Yeah. So I think that's more of an advantage than them just staying over there for a week.
I also feel like it depends on the person. Everybody has different things that they require before game day to make sure that they're ready.
Right.
It may not all be tied to that and how they prepare like that in terms of their timing and travel and things of that nature.
Right.
All right, another game that I think everybody's going to keep their eyes on moving forward. Eagles-Rams. Eagles at Rams. Undefeated Eagles taking on a Rams team that is sneaky good. I don't think they're not like all the way good, but they're sneaky. They're a team that I can see Eagles getting their first loss here. I'm gonna let y'all take it.
Man,
and I'll come back.
Man, I wish Cooper Kupp was playing. My goodness, I wish he was playing.
distract Darius Slay?
I cannot wait until what he looks like in this. It's watching the Rams play has been. It's been cool. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They definitely exceeded my expectations coming into the year.
Oh, no, for
Now Cooper Kupp, his practice window has opened now, so he's practicing now. I think, saying that he's gonna play this week is a little premature. I rather sit him this week, but he's coming for sure. And now that Puka Nacua is playing the way he is, and Tutu Atwell is playing the way that he is, and Stafford's nursing it. They got some juice. They got some juice there. My biggest concern, however, going into this game is Stafford nursing a hip injury. I think that's going to affect his mobility, especially in the pocket when you're going up against a fierce, defensive front that Philly has. You're going up against Jalen Carter. You're going up against Fletcher Cox. They're going to get their pressure. You're going to have to be able to move. I'm not saying you got to scramble like Lamar Jackson. You're gonna have to be able to move.
You just gotta do a little Sam Howell.
Yeah, you gotta Euro step this thing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like something.
You get it.
But that's a concern. But
can be done.
I think I honestly feel like the Rams are capable of giving them a game.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if they're gonna win, but I would not be surprised if it's the fourth quarter and this is a one-score game. Would not be surprised.
For me, this was like last year's Titans in a way. I guess kind of the brand that the Titans have in general, where they're going to compete every game, where when they go up against teams that are in the upper echelon, we still expect the Titans to compete and most likely give teams a run for their money, come up with the upset because they have that formula. Mm-hmm. They know their agenda, how they running their offense, what they have to do to win. Mm-hmm. Mike Vrabel got them boys ready.
Yep.
I feel like it's the same thing with the Rams in this manner. You have also Aaron Donald still. That we always forget. It don't matter. He's the most double team player ever since the Super Bowl. Don't matter. He's still going to be productive. He's still annoying. It's still so fun to watch him terrorize offensive lines. Got Geno Smith screaming and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's always fun watching him. And Matthew Stafford is annoying to play with too, because he always get to keep the drives moving. Smart player, keeps his eyes moving, make sure that everybody is open, doing what they need to do. I see what you're saying in terms of it being an upset. Sorry, I was rambling. I was going all over the place. Y'all all looked at me crazy. I'm like,
No, it's fine. No, I'm saying I can see them give him a game. But real quick before Marcus goes,
English is tough.
The one key factor is the Rams' run defense. If they're able to truly neutralize DeAndre Swift and that run game for Philly, they can definitely make this a game. Turn this thing into a shootout. Take away that run game and say, Philly, it's going to be Jalen and Stafford. Best quarterback wins. That's
Jalen Hurts hasn't had that game with his
hasn't
arm yet,
exactly.
So where he's had to do
he
that.
hasn't, right?
We've seen it before.
He did it last
this year
against the Commanders.
Kind of.
Threw for 350 yards.
But the offense still looks. I know 350 is
I'm tired. I'm saying that the offense doesn't look the same. Why would we expect it to look the same when there are pieces that are missing that wasn't there before?
What pieces?
Offensive coordinator gone, so that the type of play calling is gonna be different. Okay. Running back wise, is Miles Sanders for
I think
DeAndre Swift.
That's an upgrade.
I don't think it's an upgrade because DeAndre Swift has always been hurt.
But Swift is
he's played better for now, but we haven't seen that stable of running backs that they have had.
They don't need to because he's running for 150 by himself.
But that's the thing though. Miles Sanders ran for 1,200. Then you had Boston Scott. You had Kenneth Gainwell. They had a whole slew of guys that did it. So, yeah, it looked different because it wasn't just one guy. It was multiple guys. Now they just have one guy, and Jalen Hurts isn't running as much as he did last year. The passing game, yeah, it looks different, but that's because teams have started playing them different. Certain teams in the beginning where they were like, we'll take the run and not the pass. But then when they had to pass against the Commanders, they did well. It's like, we can't expect them to just be off and humming when they've lost.
Oh no, y'all expected them to be off and humming.
No, because
before week one started,
y'all.
I was the one who was telling y'all we should simmer down a little bit.
No, because we
was looking for Devontae and AJ to be 2 1s.
It's not going. Yes,
that's what we was waiting for.
But that's the thing, though. We said that it's supposed to be good, which it is. The offense is good,
Right.
but we expected it to be essentially like what they looked like in the Super Bowl. That's just one game. But for the entire season, I mean, Jalen Hurts only threw for 22 touchdowns last year, so it's not like they were throwing the ball around the yard all the time. They were pretty balanced in what they did, and they're pretty balanced where they are now. It just looks a little different, and it might not be as efficient, but it's still good.
The efficiency is the part that doesn't look the
They're
same.
second.
That's the part.
It doesn't look as
It
easy.
looks-
It looked easy last year.
Exactly. It looks like every yard is a lot harder to come by for them this
It
year
does.
than it was last year.
They're
Well, that's
second-
what they're saying when they say it looked different. Like,
That's
you
what-
gained
but-
these
but
yards,
that's-
but boy, you trying.
But
It's-
when
they're-
it comes to hit like offenses like that, like not every time it just translates over to where it's like, oh yeah, they were exactly as good as the year before. When the Chiefs, when Pat Mahomes won his MVPs, that offense looked great. Obviously, without Tyreek Hill, it didn't look as good, but it still got the job done. You just need an offense that gets the job done. And the thing about it I like about the Eagles' offense is they run the ball well. And if somehow someone that's taken away,
Second in the league.
they've been
Second in the league. in rushing.
and when they haven't been able to do that, they have been able to pass. We've seen it.
Who's first?
It's the Dolphins, but that's
Okay,
because
so then the Eagles
it
are
was-
first in the league.
well, the Dolphins. no.
Eagles
no.
are first in the league. I'm sorry. That
We can't
game,
just not count the game.
I mean, sure.
Disrespectful, dog.
But I'm
If you
saying-
want to give it an asterisk,
What
for the
I'm
outlier,
saying,
sure.
because that game shot them through the roof. Like,
I mean, yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
yeah.
if you're just looking
Like
at
on
consistency,
paper, but yeah,
If you're-
consistency.
yeah,
The Eagles' running offense is scarier because of the consistency,
they,
rather
like,
than just speed from the Dolphins.
they are second because every game, this is what they're averaging. Like, their average just shot up off of that
Dolphins
one
probably
game.
still be what?
So that's why I'm
six?
like, I would say that the
At
best.
worst.
Probably.
I would say that the best running offense, actual running offense, is the Eagles.
That's fair.
That's what I was trying to say when I said what I said.
And that's the thing that makes them scary is because we know that's a strength, but if it's taken away, we have seen it this season where they've been able to pass
Against who?
against the
Because
Commanders.
the Commanders
and-
don't
and
have
then-
secondary. What happens when you
don't
face
be
a
rude.
team?
And it was the
That-
Commanders.
They was
and-
little
and
boying
even-
us.
And even
Devontae was mossing people. AJ was bullying Emmanuel.
I'm just asking what happens when you face a team who is good against the run and pass. Not like I'm not sitting here saying a team that's top 5 in both. I'm saying what if you face a team that's average at one and top 10 at the other? When you face that team,
It looks easier.
what does that look like?
I mean,
when you
was
face
that-
the
was that-
Cowboys,
was that not the-
when you face the Cowboys, what does that look like when you face that defense? They're not going to just give you the
Well,
run.
but that's the thing though. Isn't what we're saying? Is their weakness
No.
is the run?
No, what or in
So-
terms of their
the
passing, I was just
the-
saying that they're passing in
But,
terms of going and winning the game.
The only team that we can say right now where it's just like defensively, we can say, yeah, the run and the pass they do well against is the 49ers.
But even the way that they're getting their first downs, their touchdowns, it's been kind of just your guy going and winning the battle. It hasn't looked easy in terms of this dude was
I mean,
scheming
they got the
open,
guys.
getting people in space. They have the guys to do that, but it doesn't. It looked like it's like okay. That's how all their plays fit.
I agree with
Ain't
them.
work out, but-
you see a little. You see
So
a
that's not how
lot
you want your
more.
offense to run.
Last year, you saw a lot more big plays that resulted in a big drive and a touchdown. Now you see a little bit more, 8, 9, 10 play drives from Philly. Like they're really, like you were saying, they have to earn literally every first down that they
But I
get.
think teams also have been playing them to where it's like we're not giving up the big plays.
Which
You
is
can-
fine,
you can-
which is how you should
and,
play.
And it's exactly, remember when,
It hadn't really worked.
I mean, it,
I feel like they've had big plays every game.
But okay, so essentially what you're
Except for
saying,
Patriots game.
there is a step
Actually,
that Hurts and this offense has to get to because
Yes.
no,
The-
for sure.
the Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs, and I think 2 of them are about to find out themselves. But the Bengals, Bills, and Chiefs have already went through the whole. We're not going to allow you to have big plays, and you have to figure out still how to have big plays. And I feel like the Dolphins are about to enter into this category, and I feel like the Eagles are in this category already. Like the Eagles and Dolphins are both going to have to learn how to still have big plays.
But I
when
would
they take
give.
away, try to take them away.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're talented enough to work around that, to find a workaround.
Do we think they're going to figure it out?
But they have had big
It
starts.
may be they said
you-
what you just said reminded me of how everyone played the Chiefs a couple years ago.
Yes.
And it took the Chiefs close to a month to say, you know what? Let's just give Tyreek the ball underneath and let them chase him that way. Let him get his yak that way. It took a little while. But they figured it out. When it comes to the Eagles, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they're the defending NFC champs. They have enough talent to figure it out and say, hey, you know what? If teams want to give us these 12-play drives, we'll take these 12-play drives. And we're
But
gonna,
I think
and,
that
and
the
we're gonna,
I
Eagles
just don't
already,
know if Hurts
they
can
can
handle it.
already do that. We've already seen
They
it.
can.
Against
They have the personnel to
Buccaneers-
do so.
Against the Buccaneers, we saw it.
Yes.
Against the Vikings, we saw it. Now, obviously, like these aren't top defenses, but we've seen that they've been able to do it. And like we said with the 49ers, you can only play who's on the schedule.
Yeah.
The only difference with the 49ers is their defense has been way better than we thought the Eagles' defense was last year. But offensively, the Eagles are still scoring points. It's not like guys
It's
that
looked different though.
Yeah, but
it's
it's
been
still-
more of them.
but they're
It's like
still
the
scoring
slow,
points.
steady, die by 100 cuts type offense. And
still scoring points.
for sure, but it's not as I don't want to say it's not as scary. It's more.
It's
still
scary.
It's still concerning, but
Like
There's
the,
a certain
the, the,
But
big
I-
plays that they've been
expectation.
the big plays that they've been getting offensively is a lot of the, like you said, die by 1,000 cuts, right? Running the ball, and as soon as they play up, boom, deep shot.
but what if they find themselves down 17-0 early?
I mean, we'll just have to see if they can
This
just
is-
pass the
You
ball.
see what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's piggybacking off what you guys were saying, where these
But you
yes,
can
they're
say that
scoring
about
points.
a lot of teams.
Look,
But
All
we're
right, if
talking
the
about
40
the defending NFC
I know.
champs.
If the 49ers, who we just said were the kings of the September, if they were down 17, do you say, oh yeah, Brock Purdy's going to be able to get them back?
No, I think at that point, even if see them down 17-0, I think they're just going to stick to their blueprint, and eventually they're going to bludgeon you to tie the game up and eventually take the lead. That's just who they are because of their personnel and because of their play calling.
I think that if I look ahead, I can see them losing their next 3 games.
The Eagles.
Philly, I don't know about
Like
that.
losing 3 straight.
I don't know about that.
who are their three?
Can I say because
Go ahead.
I could Rams, Jets, and Dolphins.
No.
I can see them losing
No.
all. I could see them. I'm not when I say going 0-3. I'm saying those are 3 games
No.
that I could see them losing. Not all of them in a row,
No.
but just in general. Like if you said
2-1.
Jets and Eagles, I could sit here and I could be like, yeah, the Jets could beat them.
2-1.
The Jets could beat them. I'm like, all
No.
3 of these
They're-
games could. All 3 of these teams could beat the
2-1.
Eagles.
Okay,
won't-
okay.
that's
Let,
what I'm
let me
saying.
ask
The
you.
Eagles will
Let
be
me ask you.
favored.
The Jets can beat them how?
Just almost just did it against the Chiefs.
Again, but what did you say? What did you say last weekend? It's because there are 2 passing offenses with the Chiefs and the Bills.
Wait,
and that's why you
hold
had
on,
concerns.
Hold on, time out. I also just said to you at the beginning, well, not the beginning, but I said to you, what happens when they face a team who can stop the run and stop the pass?
But can they stop the run?
Yes, the Jets absolutely can stop the run. Did I say that I said an average? They are
you
above
don't think-
average at stop.
I'll say this.
Rushing
For you to
defense.
make that statement, that's based on what? Because the offenses that they played are not predicated off the run game.
Well, I can say the
So-
Bills'
so-
offense that they're the only team that they didn't get 100 yards over was the Jets. They've
But
got
it's-
100 yards rushing.
But you
in
see what
every
I'm
game
saying,
except
right?
the
It's
Jets.
one of those things where you can look at it and say the numbers are probably low because the offenses that they're playing don't necessarily run the football
ball,
like that.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You could.
I
You
mean,
could,
and
but,
then- and we
I
also-
think that you're not going to sit here and tell me they're below average at stopping the run,
And then
right?
we're
No,
also
right.
Yeah,
No,
they can be.
this is-
But I'm not going to look at that and say, hey, the Jets are going to give the ball to Brees Hall and he's
No.
going to put up 150 on him.
No, but what I'm saying is you're going to face a defense, because you said only the 49ers are that. And I say, okay, well, here comes the Jets, who are average to above average at stopping the run. Somewhere between 15 and 10 at stopping the run. And they're definitely a top 10 at pass.
Yeah,
So I'm like, that, I can easily see that being an upset.
and I
Or
think,
the Eagles,
and I
the
think the one thing with the Eagles is
Especially
it-
because their defense ain't
no, but
playing
in,
at its level that people thought it was.
But in this matchup, right, you would have the run Eagles run defense, which is one of the tops in the league, against a Jets run offense that we expected to be one of the tops in the league, but they just have honestly not
We'll-
running the ball as well. So that means,
hold on. Before we will talk about this next week.
yeah, you're not.
We'll talk about that next week.
You're not.
We'll
Okay.
get to it. Rams though.
Yeah.
Back on the Rams.
Rams
Winning or
yeah,
losing?
I have the Rams losing. Eagles winning because, and this is to be the key factor. The Rams are one of the few teams that have more interceptions than passing touchdowns. So that means when they get in the red zone, if they can't throw the ball, they have to run, which they've been good at. But the Eagles are one of the top rushing defenses. I think that'll be the thing that overcomes the Rams because they're not going to be able to get touchdowns. They can get the ball down the field, and I think they'll be able to do that. But once they get in the red zone, if they can't score from running the ball, it's not
from
enough.
passing it. Because right now the
Because-
Eagles are susceptible to the pass.
Yes, but when the field is condensed, it's a different game than when they have
It is,
space.
but
The Rams haven't shown that they can pass the ball when there's no space. That's why they failed against the Bengals. It's because once they got in those fine out red zone area, they couldn't do as much.
I think Philly gets the win. I think it's going to be closer than expected. But I think because if you look at it on paper, the matchups are there for Philly. But this just smells like one of those games where it's like, man, Philly is just things ain't going right. You know, they may have a couple muffed punts that gives the Rams short fields, and all of a sudden they capitalize. It's just
Penalties was the issues last week.
It's one of those games where it's like, man, yeah, a big pass interference penalty that happens late, and it puts the Rams in field goal position.
AJ Brown's taunting.
But that's
Simon
the
Samuel.
thing that I'm
Field
thinking
position,
of.
drop,
Is
drop.
for me personally, I'm thinking that they can be in field goal range, but I don't think they're gonna get touchdowns. They're just gonna get field goals. You're not gonna beat the Eagles just getting field goals. That's my thing.
Well, that may be the case, but when we suddenly look at the box score on Sunday, and all of a sudden Aaron Donald has 3.5 sacks, that defense has a number of pressures, and all of a sudden it's a 17.
That make it seem like this Eagles offensive line ain't nothing.
I'm just saying. It just feels like one of those games.
I hope so, but I also have the Eagles. I think slow and steady, they gonna handle their business.
I wanted to look just to make sure. I wanted to double check.
Go Rams.
So through 4 games,
That boy Puka nice
the Eagles have given up 9 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
in 4 games.
4 games,
Okay.
9. So they're susceptible to giving up passing touchdowns.
Where
now,
does
not
that
to-
rank?
But I'm
Rushing,
talking about
Not to make a big factor in this one. The Rams have nothing to lose in this game.
No,
You got a play caller in Sean McVay who probably knows that.
absolutely.
Would not be surprised if we see a few trick plays.
Onside kick to start the game.
Something like that.
No,
Something
he's not,
funky.
He's not.
He's not
Some
Sean Payton.
some flea
Maybe,
flickers.
but we're
Something.
we're saying that the Eagles are susceptible. That's cool, but the Rams haven't been able to have success in the passing game in the red zone, or else they only have 3 touchdowns.
But it ain't a. But it's not a.
3.
It's not a. I just like if you. How do you mitigate that? By making big plays without getting in the red zone. Again, you got a play caller in Sean McVay that's like he's one of the best wizards in the league when it comes to stuff.
They don't.
like
they don't have the guys like that. To
got the
me,
speed.
2-2 at will.
2-2.
all right,
2-2 at will.
We'll see. But I don't think
They
it's
gonna need
work.
that
All
though.
right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our September champs, 49ers at Cowboys.
Is at the Cowboys? I thought they were at home.
49ers at Cowboys.
I
I'll
thought-
double check
I thought they
myself.
were. I think
No, it's at San
it's
Francisco.
San Fran.
Yeah.
Look, man.
that San
Dak
Fran?
needs to save his
Cowboys
brand.
at 49ers. My apologies.
That's what I'm thinking.
You need to say what?
Dak needs to save his brand. I feel as though homeboy for his
What is
brand.
his brand?
What is his brand? That's a great question.
You said save it.
You
so
see
I
him.
don't know what it
You
is.
see him twice a year. I would think you know.
I was going to answer a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Great question. I'm going to answer for you. He's someone who we've known. It looks good. I'm saying optics. Looks as though came in rookie year, had the good line, good stats. We've seen division. We've seen what happened when he has the number 1. Got him a number 1, and he's underwhelmed. When it's come his time to be the $40 million.
What is his brand?
He's getting to it.
You're telling me his brand is being underwhelming? Because then that's what his brand is.
He's getting to it.
How is he saving what his brand? To save something, you must have a good brand. You know what I'm saying? You're saying he got a bad brand.
Okay. So Got you. Language matters. You're absolutely correct.
Hey, man.
So, I guess the right word would be the step in the direction of becoming the quarterback he would want to become, the winning quarterback,
Earn his
championship quarterback.
contract.
Earn his contract even, sure. We could work with that. He need this game. The 49ers have knocked him out the playoffs the last 2 years. He need this game.
Well, he says he's pissed off.
So what? Okay,
What
sure.
that
I don't
mean?
mean nothing.
Go
that-
win. You
what
need
that
to
mean?
go handle your business. That's it. That's it. It don't matter how you feeling. You can be happy that day.
Alright.
Pissed off Dak.
Hold on. Let me ask you-
He wins that game by not turning the ball over for one, which easier
So
said
let
than
me
done.
ask you this then. So what happens if he goes out there and has the best game of his career and they lose?
To be honest, it saves him.
It saves
Not
him,
the-
but
I
it
mean, the team,
but it falls
obviously,
but it falls into the same category, the same story of man. Dallas just can't get over that 49ers hump.
Yeah.
Would it be their defense's fault at that point then?
Yeah,
I don't
it
feel
would
like
be.
Dak
If he had the game
can
of his
play his
life,
best
it would be
game
the
and
defense.
lose.
Well,
That
yeah,
feels
the
really
defense
weird.
just-
It would be the defense's fault.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
Debo and
McCaffrey,
and
Kittle.
I keep on trying to say his
Ayuk.
name and you go, thank you, Ayuk. Every time I'm about to say it, he says another name and it throws my brain off.
That AI is crazy.
Yes.
I understand.
So I mean,
UK,
it could very
don't make
well
it
be that way.
no less crazy.
Honestly, I mean, the Cardinals chopped him up a little bit. So why don't I think that the 49ers can chop him up a little
This
bit
is
more? And the Chargers got the 49ers got way more offensive power than the Cardinals.
The only chance
Why you
I
do Josh
give,
Dobbs
the
like
only
that?
chance I give them is because they've been dominant in the games they've won,
I was trying to think with Josh Dobbs.
and that's
Man,
where it's
he
just
has
like,
a-
okay, well maybe they could stop 49ers because they have stopped them in the playoffs. It's just the offense for the Cowboys hasn't been good enough.
and then when you look at who they played so far, it's like
Who played?
the Cowboys,
Okay.
the teams that they dominated.
Nah, you can't say that.
Why not?
When we talk about why the
Because
49ers
they
are good,
still-
they've
because
looked
they-
complete against who they've played. The Cowboys haven't given that same.
No,
output, I
they
guess.
have looked complete.
But it's looked that way
except
against.
except for against the Cardinals.
But it's looked that
No.
way. But it's looked that way.
I will.
Here.
They
What
look-
they
what
look
he's
good
trying
against
what
the
he's
Giants.
what he's trying to
I thought
paint.
you said complete. Are you saying
what he-
offense and defense?
what he's
or
trying
you're
to-
saying
what
the-
he's-
I
picture-
thought we were still talking about the defense.
The picture that he's painting is that they've looked dominant, which they have, and I'm going to give them that credit. But it has also come against the Jets, Giants, and the Patriots. And it's like, man, like I wanna go in that direction and say, man, they've turned the corner this year as a defense at least. But I can't help but overlook that. And knowing that they're going on the road against a juggernaut like this, against CMC, knowing what they just did on the road against Arizona a couple weeks ago, I don't know. This just has the makings of that disappointing Cowboys loss.
But it also feels like something that they would do to go and peak at this particular point, go win this game, and then fall later.
So-
I can see that. as well.
Agree.
I can see them showing up at home. They understand what it is. They could that being pissed off could do something for them. Sure, it makes sense. The
So,
story makes sense.
Who do you have?
I have the 49ers. I don't think the Cowboys got it, but I think that it's going to be closer than we would think. I don't think
so?
it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of the things where the Cowboys going to have to lead and the 49ers going to have to come back.
I think the Niners are just going to pull away late. They're going to punch them in the mouth and pull away late.
No, I honestly think this will be a close game. I got it like 3 points, where I think the Cowboys they're gonna be in it, but Dak's just not gonna find a way as usual, and they're gonna lose the game. So.
And when I say pull away, I mean by winning like by 10, maybe 12 points, something like that. Like
I think it's a one possession.
they're not going to blow them out,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
think-
like
I think it'll
they're gonna put this thing to bed halfway through the fourth.
2, 3, 4 points somewhere around there.
I think.
Who jersey you got on today?
I think.
I don't know that one.
He has a blue
Isagi.
lock. He has a blue.
Oh,
lock.
that's Bullock.
Sasagi.
Man.
Yes.
I ain't know
All my
that.
Blue Lock fans out there.
Wow. Well, spatial awareness.
I have
Spatial
no
awareness.
idea what the hell they're talking about when it comes to this.
We gonna get him up on game.
It's that this is that anime BS
He's a
that they
hater.
put
Hey,
on.
hey, whoa. See, you
this
gonna
one
make
is-
some enemies out here saying
I don't
stuff
care.
like that.
I don't care.
Anytime you talk, I'm
I don't care.
Yeah,
Okay.
we could
Don't do
have to-
that.
We gonna have to mute this.
You have the power to do that.
You can't be slandering
Execute your
anime.
power as you
Please.
see fit. That is why that's your job. That's why you need to touch this stuff.
So, I'm gonna go.
You're doing a great job.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think the Cowboys are gonna throw Cowboys. Dak's gonna throw a pick, and this game's gonna be over.
Oh, that's it.
That's how it's gonna end. Like
Oh,
he's gonna have a chance, and he's either gonna throw a pick or some sort of strip sack. It's not gonna end well.
it would make my heart so happy.
And I can just see it all over Monday
I'm a hero.
headlines everywhere.
It's a beautiful thing.
So I don't wish it upon him,
I need
but
it.
I think that's exactly how things are going to go for him. So I'm going to also rock with the 49ers.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Hold on. So before we transition, I just want to know, like, when we see the 49ers winning, do y'all think it'll be Purdy has a big game?
No.
Or do you think it'll be the run game and the defense
CMC.
lead the 49ers?
CMC in the defense.
I
I'd
think.
love to see it be Purdy.
All right, this is. I see.
I just
What is a big game for Purdy? Are we going big game as a quarterback
like,
in general or
two-
big game for Purdy?
270.
275.
Yeah,
270,
270, 280. 272 touchdowns.
See, to me, that's not a big game.
It's not.
But it's,
That's why I was asking.
No, but
It's
this
not
is-
a big game.
But this is for Purdy because a big
So
game,
a big game for Purdy.
but to be fair,
I think that qualifiers
No, but to
necessary.
be fair, but to
I
be fair
absolutely
though,
agree with you.
270 and 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys defense to me
In this
is a big game.
in this offensive
not a
Because you
scheme,
don't- 'cause-
270 and 2 touchdowns is equivalent to 350 and 3 for Josh. It's
No,
right.
it's
No,
just- it's
in
270 and
in,
2
no,
touchdowns.
in
No,
this
that's what it is.
in this scheme because it does not require him to throw the ball around the yard.
Right, it doesn't require
But
him
if
to
he
have a big game.
but if he has
That's what I'm
those,
saying.
but that is a but
No,
for his
Saying-
scheme.
no,
It's not a big
you're
game.
trying to say that the scheme we are lowering what a big game is for the scheme rather than the scheme not being
Requiring
a
him
big.
to have a big game.
But
Not
I
a
think
big
that's a big
play
game.
scheme.
But I think
That
that's
is-
a big game even against this defense.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
for Josh Allen, if Josh Allen was to throw for 270 and 2
Language
touchdowns
matters.
against the Cowboys defense, I'd be
Yeah,
like, yeah, he had a good game.
We all saying
He had a big game. He
A
had a
good
good
game.
game. That's
It's
what I'm
verbiage.
saying.
But
That's
you're,
it.
but I feel like,
That's
I feel
why I
like
was
you're putting,
asking.
but I feel like you're putting every single quarterback who has a game of that statistical category on the same plateau. It's a good game for Josh, but it's a big game for Brock because of the scheme and who he is as a
What did I
quarterback.
ask you? I said, are we doing a big game in general for quarterbacks, or are we doing a big game for Purdy?
No,
That was
you
my-
and you
that was my
asked,
question.
and we said the
Yeah,
big game
big
for
game
Purdy
Purdy.
would be 275
Okay,
and 2
and that's
touchdowns.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If that's what we're asking, because you were asking me the question.
But you also
I
said that's
wanna
not
know
a
what
big
I'm
game
answering.
after we said it.
It's not a big game,
It's
but it's
not.
a big game for him.
It's a big yes.
It's a big game for him.
But it's not a big
But it's
game.
not a big game. So do I
It's
think
really
he'll
not.
have a big game for him? Sure. But I don't think that's a big game in general. But for him, sure.
So that means Josh Allen's only had one big game this season?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would say he had one big game. He had one
We-
extremely efficient game and one big game.
He's had rushing touchdowns the last 2 games too.
No, but we
no.
just said- but-
The game against the Raiders where he completed like 80% of his passes, like a lot of people he was like 210 yards
Right.
passing, 80% of his passes. Like to me, I was like he had an extremely efficient game. I wouldn't sit here and say he had a big
That's what
game.
I'm saying. Even against
He
the
just had an
Commanders, he
efficient
didn't
game.
have a big game.
No, he had an
You would-
efficient game.
You wouldn't say. I
So,
mean,
I
of
didn't
course,
think
you wouldn't
that.
say that against the Raiders. But if he put up that type of game against the Chiefs and they still won, would you say you still wouldn't say that's a big game?
No, it's not a big game.
He had an efficient. He,
It won't be
he,
a big game.
he did what was needed to win. He was efficient. That's it. I'm not going big game.
So for Brock Purdy to put 225 or 230 falls into that same category. He did what he had to
To do, yes.
Which
I'm
isn't
not
a big
arguing that.
game.
Yeah.
It's just doing your job.
for their scheme and the type of quarterback. I'm not putting.
I don't
Brock
think we
Purdy's
should
standard.
describe their scheme
All
as a
right,
big.
to answer your
play
question,
anything.
But he's
originally,
but he's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a Josh Allen type quarterback.
do I think that he will have a big game? I think that he's going to be somewhere between the 250 to 270 range, and I give him 2 tutties. Like that's the range that I
Pretty much
see
what
him
he's
in.
been on all year so far.
Yeah,
right?
like
For
that's
the most
that's
part,
it.
you know?
That's where I see him. I don't see him getting into the threes or anything like that. Where we're
Oh,
sitting here
man.
saying he threw the ball over the yard.
But he doesn't have to.
I think that's the pace he's gonna be at.
I mean, at this point, he hasn't had to, and that's one of the question marks is if he does have to, can he?
There will come a point where he has to.
So, but we'll see. Though. I mean, time
There will
tell.
be a
I feel
team
like a
that
lot of
cuts
the
up.
league
I mean,
is-
honestly,
There's gonna be a
we
team that
did-
cuts up the
we did
49ers.
we did say that a lot last year as he was starting, but next thing you know, 1 win turned into 2, to turn into 4, to turn into 8. So it's like it's crazy how that works
And
out.
then-
But I know I think there's going to be a team.
And then they lost the Eagles.
Because he wasn't in there.
Christian
So-
McCaffrey has also had
Uh,
touchdowns
allegedly.
however many straight games.
Allegedly lost to the Eagles because he wasn't in there. We don't know what
Yeah, we don't
happened.
know that because the Eagles were winning the game.
We don't know.
They would have gave him a game.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't
there.
disagree. Yeah, it would have been a good game.
I think it was an uphill battle.
So, two teams who wish that they had the efficiency of a Brock Purdy. Jets and Cowboys.
Jets and Cowboys.
Jets and Broncos. Sorry.
Oh, it was right
Hey
there.
man, Mr.
Jets and
Host,
Broncos.
man.
Come on, host.
Sorry.
We need to
It's
get
all
it
good. I
together.
seen the vision. I seen the vision.
That's two
All right.
times.
Host man,
Be
host
like that
man. Yeah,
sometimes.
that's me.
Oh.
Jets at Broncos.
Cool.
Do I at least have the teams right on where they're who's where?
Do you know where the
Right.
game is played?
I just said at Broncos.
It's not in Antarctica. It's in Denver. Well, close enough, actually.
Wow, see,
Nah,
disrespect.
that's
All right, Jets,
Hey, Antarctica,
Broncos,
bottom of the world.
Jets having a huge moral victory. I'm gonna call it a moral victory week for them. I don't know what else you want me to call it.
That's
I hate
stupid.
more
for both.
victories.
That's
for both
stink.
teams.
I'm
That
gonna let you know. That's stink.
it does,
is
but I
stink.
mean that's the way that it's been carrying the media all week. Is just this moral victory that they got.
They've been waiting for something, so I guess
So,
they.
They got some hope.
This team deserves, if any other team.
The Broncos
Anything.
get their first dub
We
of the
give them
season.
Yep.
Mm.
Do you think this is a turning point?
For
Can we
who?
see the Broncos going on a streak? And
Could we
and
what?
my prediction coming through?
No.
Like, can you just?
No.
Danger!
No.
I mean, come on.
Danger!
No.
I have to say that
Get off
even
that.
if they beat the Jets, they gotta play the Chiefs the next week.
Yeah, bro.
So that's just gonna.
What if
bring
they
them-
make that a game?
They always make it a game. They just lose.
Mm.
In Kansas City?
Thursday
Oh,
night.
It's in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's in Kansas City. So, and then they actually got to play the
Lord
Chiefs
Jesus.
twice.
So-
in 4
In the
weeks.
next
Hold
four,
on, I'm
next
gonna give
4
you
weeks.
the next 6 games.
For who?
Ready to look for the Broncos. Jets.
Do we need the next 6?
Oh yes, because you're gonna tell me how many dubs you count. This week versus the Jets,
One.
at the Chiefs.
2,
L.
Following week at home versus the Packers.
L.
3,
Got the Chiefs at home.
L.
loss,
Bills
Bills on the road,
L.
and then the Vikings come to town.
dub, 4.
I give them a win.
4.
I give them 4.
You give
One.
them 4 of
I
the
give them
Chiefs?
They're
4.
1
And then
and
they got
5.
the Then you got the Browns.
4. Man said 4.
They're 1 and 5.
He said that they would beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead, but they lose in
Yeah.
Mile High. That's
Is
crazy.
it because you said it was on Thursday?
He's just going with Thursday night weird
Yeah.
games.
4.
Sure.
Massive.
1
You
and
got
5.
them beating the Packers. So
Yeah.
you're saying a
Bro,
toss.
when's the
these are
last time
toss-up.
the Broncos beat the Chiefs?
He don't know.
It's been a long ass time. So
Why you
hey,
asking that?
hey, so that just makes me. It's known to me they ain't winning in there.
All right,
That's all.
but-
I
1
know.
and 5.
Jets and Broncos. Can we start there? Can they get this done?
Yes.
You know what? This
Um,
might end in a tie.
Man.
I mean, I can't. Hey, nobody can get it done.
Hey,
I don't know.
If there's 2 teams that
Hello.
can get on the football field right now and play for a tie,
13-13.
it's these 2.
It's strange because
Would not be surprised.
this would be very disrespectful
Put it in your
to
parlay.
the brand that Zach Wilson has already
I might ask him
established
to
for
be honest.
himself.
It's a Wilson Bowl.
This is
Damn, it is
Yeah,
disrespectful.
this is a Wilson Bowl.
Wilson, you got.
Everybody has been able to light up the Broncos defense. Zach Wilson and the Jets offense should be able to do that. Breece Hall is off his snap count limit. Let's see if he gets going. Garrett Wilson, they started giving him more targets last week. Get him going. See what they can do. The Broncos have been very
So you
successful.
taking the Jets?
Sure.
No. Are you taking
Yeah,
the
the
Jets?
Jet. I got the Jets
said
going
sure.
going handling their business with the lower oxygen bucket.
All right.
Come on.
You taking the tie? That's
Yeah,
what
sure
you
is
putting your
crazy,
money
you're
on?
right.
I'm low key taking a tie, man. Like
I see.
I can't pick a winner here. Both sides have plenty of deficiencies to fish through, and I'm not loving what I'm seeing on the field from either side. I already didn't love the Broncos' chances coming into the year. I felt like offensively they were going to struggle, and lo and behold, this is what's happening. It's hard to pick a winner in this game, man. I just can't.
Marcus.
Well, I think it'll
I
be,
just can't. You gonna accept that, but you wouldn't accept my
it'll
short?
be a
That's
tough
crazy.
game.
No, are you going to declare a tie then? Declare a tie. Call the tie. I mean, you're going to be wrong
Say
in
it
one way
with
or
your
the
chest,
other.
man.
So, I
Hey
mean,
man, just pick the tie.
just say that this is going to be the
It's
tie
an
of the
option.
year.
They're going to tie.
Hey, but
All
put
right.
in your pick'ems
They're
too.
going to tie.
Put in your right.
I ain't no fool. Y'all think I'm crazy? Come on now.
Hey, look, but no, I think it'll actually be a defensive matchup because I think that Zach Wilson,
It's gonna be a
They'll-
defensive matchup by default.
Yeah,
because his offense
like,
is
I think
Do
they'll
a whole
continue
lot.
to do the things that they did against the Chiefs, getting them outside the pocket, making them read half the field, being able to run the ball more with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. And I see it being a 2017 Jets.
The Chiefs have beat the Broncos
Here we go.
every year since 2015.
Must love that since Peyton Manning.
No.
Love that. Yeah.
Well, my bad for Broncos. I was thinking, I was gonna say for Alex Smith, but opposite
got you,
teams.
I got
Yes,
you.
for sure. Their last 2 years with Alex Smith, they swept the Broncos, and every time since Mahomes been there. Go ahead,
That's nasty.
man.
You gotta get one sometime, right?
So who you going with?
I'm taking the Broncos.
That's
I thought we
nice.
already knew
Hey,
what
This
was
is
look,
playoff
he-
team.
he
He
knew where he was
got
going with
captain
that.
going down with the ship.
Hey, look, he's
Just let him rock.
going down with the ship.
Absolutely.
He's
Your
on
ship ain't going down yet.
It's already done.
Are you
Alright,
Are you serious?
Hey, you got a cannonball in the
Are
side,
you
bro.
serious,
You got to
bro?
patch it
There's
up.
a big hole in the side of the ship
They
right
almost-
now.
they almost
Oh,
lost to the
man.
Bears.
Right? Exactly.
I wouldn't want to be on your ship.
This
I'll put it
is-
like that. Go ahead, ride that.
I,
sucker
I
out.
see players just
Yeah, hey.
scooping up water.
Damn, we don't have an extra.
We ain't got
extra boat.
enough.
We need more little boats. Hold
I
on.
can't even talk.
It's sinking.
Lord
It's like
Jesus.
this every episode.
Every episode is like this.
Hell,
Man,
start bringing
look,
out your plank. Whee! I'm ready.
Again, I think they're slowly.
I'll take my chances.
They're slowly putting it all together.
What?
Slowly putting it all together.
And
Don't worry
Javonte's
about
hip
it.
is a little hurt right now.
He's a believer.
I'm seeing the vision.
What do you
seeing
see?
it coming
What
together.
vision?
Hold on, wait.
It's coming together.
Paint the picture for us. Go ahead.
It's blurry as hell. What
Hold on,
vision?
hold on. Let him. He gonna clean our glasses for us. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. So you remember that Dolphins team that went 0-7,
1-7.
1-7 or something like
The
that,
Brian
and then
Flores.
and then
Dolphins?
and then
Hmm.
they went. They were. It was literally like a tale of two seasons.
Yeah, sure.
They couldn't buy a win, and then they just
Did they have
something just clicked.
Did that
And you
team?
just win it.
Did that team have a 50-point loss on their schedule?
It don't matter.
It does.
It don't matter.
What?
It was L's. They were holding L's. That's all I know. Okay.
I got you. Go ahead.
So
Keep
what
going
I'm
what you saying.
saying-
Go ahead.
What I'm saying. Sometimes in life,
50-point loss. And he's-
sometimes in life, you have to hit rock bottom before you can start your rise.
Oh hell.
And that's what's happening. This is life lessons right now, people. Life lessons. Sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom before you can rebuild. And that's what's happening now. They are rising from the ashes. Watch this work. All right?
Jesus.
I'm really upset that you're trying to use the Broncos to give people life priorities, aspirations,
This is disgusting.
That's what I'm here for.
mantras.
That's
That's
what I'm
not.
here for.
This is absolutely
The
nasty.
Broncos are not the way.
Man.
They're
Don't.
not.
This is not the gospel.
They're not.
It's very much a situation. We can tune back into them later. They an afterthought for me. The ship sinking, crashing. I don't say burning yet, but it's
No, it's burning.
Oh.
It's on fire.
We
it's
calling
sinking.
in for hey, somebody come help the captain
All right.
out.
I'm
Whoever's
gonna get-
steering the ship not doing
After,
a good job.
after the 50-point loss,
The passengers
it
are
was
jumping.
definitely burning.
They jumping off the boat.
But
They trying to save themselves.
Lord Jesus.
They got a lifeboat right now, so they're in the lifeboat.
They all. It's
Ran out of little
18
boats. Where the little
It's
boats?
18 people in that lifeboat just doing
They're in
this.
the lifeboat.
Lord Jesus.
Hey, look,
Just doing this.
Oh,
they're waiting for somebody to save them, but they're
One
in the
leg out,
lifeboat.
one
They
leg
ain't
in.
Y'all
drowned
gonna
yet.
see. Y'all
They,
gonna
they
see.
ain't drowned yet, but you're in the lifeboat.
Rising
That's all
from
I'm
the
saying.
I
ashes.
see a plane. I
That's
see
what
it.
it's gonna be. All right.
The teams that the Dolphins beat, for whoever brought up that second half. Oh, you.
Lord.
The team that the Dolphins beat, the only good team when we was going through what made Tua, the only good team that was healthy was the Ravens. I don't think they had somebody who was on defense. Lamar and them played, but they beat the Ravens. Everybody else was.
That was a
subpar.
Thursday night game, wasn't it?
It was a
It
Monday
was
night.
no. It was Thursday
It was
night.
a pro-
Thursday night?
yeah,
I knew it was
I
a
thought it
Thursday
was.
night. Okay.
But yeah, they beat the Texans, Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets again, Saints, and the Patriots. That's how they got there.
That Saints game was a Monday night. I know that for sure.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the vision come through.
It's
All right,
not,
we'll
bro.
see, we'll
It's
see.
Watch
you.
it come through.
You
But-
blind. You blind. You Stevie.
What's about to be a vision on y'all's
Stevie
TVs
Wonder blind.
is
Nasty.
this Thursday night game, Bears at Commanders.
Speaking
We're
of
gonna
nasty.
preview that game right
That
now.
was a good one.
I like the
I
segue.
got you.
I appreciate you, big dog. That's
I ain't
love.
gonna hold you.
Speaking of disgusting,
I ain't earned it because I was gonna snatch it from him anyway. It was okay. That was
So,
karma.
But yes,
Wow.
Bears at
I really
Commanders.
was.
Let's get into it. This is our last game of discussion.
Is
there ever-
Also, real quick, we didn't do this at the beginning. We're gonna do it now, especially if you're watching. If you're still watching and have been watching this whole thing, just go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. You
Like.
clearly enjoy us, so
Damn.
go ahead.
Hey, bro,
hit
hit
that
We
like
definitely
and
should have said
subscribe
that
button.
way
Hell,
earlier.
Me.
Is that the sound effect?
And you know the
That's
last part.
It's can't be that email thing. That Jones. Nah, we can't. Have
Has
that.
there ever been 2 ties in the same week in the NFL season?
Oh, here we go.
Nah,
You got to choose one. If you're going to make this a tie, then you got to go back and choose the game between.
I don't know why you're being.
I'm making a
generous.
parlay. I'm making a parlay with 2 ties. I'm doing it.
I'm sorry for
I'm
your
doing
bank account.
I'm doing it.
Silly decision
So,
to make.
Bears at Commanders, what should we look forward to in this game?
Holy, the commercials.
Man.
You just had these just ready. It must be
Sir.
for all these years of watching Falcons.
It's
football.
your squad.
That was
It's
what
your
he
squad.
learned to
It's your
appreciate.
squad.
I understand. I get it. So
Hey.
what you should look for in this game.
I mean, we
is,
actually had decent football
Here
to
we
look
go.
at.
This
instead
is
of-
not Falcons at Commanders.
instead of,
This is
know-
Oh, we gonna
Bears
get to that
at
next week.
Commanders.
Instead of the
Don't
misery.
worry.
Always
I'm
go
very
at it with
excited.
Falcons Bears stuff. Like,
I'm about to say I was over here minding my
Bears
business. I ain't
at
say nothing.
Commanders. What do we have to look forward to?
Oh, what we gotta look forward to? You right. We gonna have to see. Well, for one, not a bad sight. We're gonna have to see how Justin Fields compounds on his performance from last week. For one, I don't think our defense is going like that. I really don't. I feel as though we're gonna have to see Emmanuel Forbes step up against DJ Moore, see what he do on that front after what AJ did to him, 130, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's unacceptable. And Emmanuel know that. He be talking smack. He be out there. I want to see how he go out there and look. Sam Howell had a great game last week. Not a big game. Great game. We'll work with it.
Okay.
He did what he needed to do. He didn't turn the ball over. He looked like he had a plan. He was moving the ball down the field. And when the money downs was coming, when he needed to go put 7 up on the board, they went and did it. Took the game to overtime. I thought they should have went for 2, but that's neither here nor there. But the 2 things I would look for are just that Justin Fields, DJ Moore connection. See what that's looking like. Apparently, Roshan Johnson's supposed to be getting more touches. I'm not really scared of the Bears rushing offense. So for me, it's just going to be eliminating DJ Moore. And then for the Commanders, being able to convert 3rd downs and keep the ball moving. That's something that we, on defense, did a great job with last year. Hadn't done that well with it. Been okay. Yeah. On offense, just keeping drives going. We've done a good job so far. See if they keep going.
Every single year, there's at least one team where everywhere you turn is something negative about them, whether it's off the field, whether it's on the field. It's bad performances by key players, players talking about coaches, throwing coaching staffs under the bus, trade rumors from just about for so many players that's on the actual team. This is the Bears' year. And usually when you see a team like that goes through that type of season, man, it's almost to the point where it's like, man, when is this season going to be over for them? Because they're going through pure hell right now. And the Bears are going through absolute hell right now. Nothing is going right for them. Even when Justin Fields puts in the best game of the season, he has a deciding sack fumble that cost them the game. Yeah. Second player this past week coming out throwing coaches under the bus and Chase Claypool to the point where they sent him home like he's a high school, like you suspended from school. You got to go home. You can't come back to school. They sent him home. This season here, I'm pretty sure there's so many people in that organization right now that's like they're ready for the season to be over. We haven't even mentioned on this show Allen Williams and that whole debacle and how that looks from afar.
No news happening.
We don't have a ton of details on that, but still, even from afar, it's like, man, what else can go wrong?
The Commanders better go handle their business. Because the way that you just read them is the game that
the Durs, should not lose. We got to go and handle our business. We always do a underwhelming job at beating the teams that we have more talent than, who we are better than, in my opinion. This could be the season. This game right here, if they don't win this game, I want to tank. I don't want to win no more. I'm done. Because we're going to end up going 7-10, 8-9, and I'm tired of that foolishness. This is the game he needs to go ahead and handle. Get him out the way. Oh, they be pissing me off, bro. You know, Dak Prescott mad, I'm mad. Nah, they be plucking my nerves, bro. Why be bad just to go 8-9? Why do that? And then with the 15th pick in the draft, and it's like we miss out on all the good people who could be the franchise-changing people. That's it.
Straight up.
I mean, Justin Jefferson went after 15. I mean, there's some
There's guys
He's
just don't
looking
get
for
him.
his quarterback.
CD went after
He's
15.
looking for his
He's
quarterback.
looking for his quarterback.
And he wants to
You
get
might have one at 15 this year.
You got one to say?
I mean, Sam Howell's cool though. We can work with Sam
You
Howell.
good with Sam?
I'm good with Sam.
So why you pointing at him when you say you're looking for your quarterback?
I'm saying in history, like over the past few years, that's what we've been doing.
Okay.
Winning the division at 7 and 9.
Could have took Matt.
You understand why I don't want to be on 15?
Hey. Anyways, so I think that this game
That
is
was ugly.
definitely. I think
That
both
was-
quarterbacks will build upon what they did last week. Not to say they'll have as good of a game, but I think
They
both of
building
them
on
will
4
build
touchdowns,
and have good games next week. Because I think the Commanders' defense will give Justin Fields and the Bears some big plays. Not a lot. It'll be some. They'll get their fair share.
I would not be surprised if this is the game where that Commanders defensive line shows why they all got drafted in the first round.
I'm waiting for
No. They will. But I still think at the end of the day, the Bears will get Justin Fields will get something. But I think the Commanders will be too much, and they'll win the game by at least 2 touchdowns. I think. I got 2 touchdowns.
I sure hope so. I like the way that
I
you
think
think.
it's a bad matchup because the Bears can't run the ball. You guys have a stout run defense. So I feel like even if y'all bring pressure, you're not gonna feel like if they were able to run the ball to make y'all not send blitzes.
I feel like our run defense has been a little underwhelming. Like in terms of yards, people have been picking up yards.
But that's the thing.
They haven't been scared to run the ball.
The Eagles didn't run the ball as well against y'all.
As well,
and
they
I
didn't.
think and
Still over
because,
100 yards.
But I think that because the Bears can't run it, I think
it should make it easier. But the Bears, they
Justin
should have
Fields.
beat us last year.
Justin Fields will run away a little bit.
They had that Mooney catch that was on the goal line, but it wasn't over the line thing at the end of the game.
But no,
Stay Slick should
y'all
have
be
beat us.
okay. 10 points. That's all by
All right, so
I thought it was 2 touchdowns.
Now
I'm
down
taking
to
the
10.
Bears.
What?
You talked me into it.
That's nasty.
I'm taking the Bears.
That's gross.
I'm taking the Bears.
Tell
That's
us
gross.
why. Why do you think the Bears are
To
gonna
do
win?
what?
Cause he down bad and pick him,
Why?
and he needs to
No.
climb his way.
That has to be
that
answered.
too. That
I'm
too.
taking the Bears simply because of what I saw the Commanders do against the Bills. And I'm like, well, you couldn't contain Josh. I don't think you're going to contain Justin Fields. And so I'm like sitting here and I'm like, okay, if you can't contain Justin Fields, him and DJ Moore are starting to have a connection. They had a nice little 1-2 punch this past week. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, if they can really continue to get their rhythm going and they can extend plays with his legs and he can get the ball to DJ Moore, I can definitely see this becoming a closer game than need be. And unlike last time, not saying that I think that it's going to be where Justin Fields is having 4 tutties and
He calling you out, Jamin. This is what you there for. 4-4.
What I'm
Stop playing
saying
with him.
is that I can easily
Come on,
see this being a close
Think of
game
those.
and the Bears
The
edging
Chiefs,
it out to get their dub. Go ahead.
Did you not see the Bears relinquish a 28-7 lead to the Broncos last week?
Yep, I did.
Okay. And you going back to what the Commanders did last week? Gotcha.
I just got.
There have been plenty of teams who've
It was
given up
close.
leads this year. It's
No, no.
nothing new.
So I just got one
He went
question.
back.
Do
He
you
went back
think
and
that?
Going back.
Do you
Yeah.
think that the Bears defense will hold up the Commanders offense enough? Because
Yes.
I think that
Yes.
We have to show it. I understand your doubts because historically that's the way that we have shown up in these games. It makes sense. But
No.
Eric Bieniemy got them boys hooping.
No.
Sam Howell thrown for 3 bills, almost twice,
See
299.
how
I
high
count
he
3
is?
bills.
They can't.
Hi.
They
Yeah.
can.
I will say the Commanders.
Am I
did
wrong?
almost lose to the Cardinals.
I don't think
Am
they
I
can.
wrong?
I don't think they.
Well, I'm
can.
saying you almost lost to the Cardinals, so I could
think
see
that.
it.
I don't think that secondary is capable of covering the wide receiver core
The Cardinals
of
defense is awesome.
Washington.
It's not about covering the wide receiving core.
It is.
It's really about can you just confuse Sam Howell?
No, it
You
is
love
about-
confusing your
It is about
quarterbacks.
covering. It is about.
It is, because that's the best way to stop a wide receiver is by confusing the quarterback. If you can confuse
you're not
the
wrong.
quarterback, then he ain't gonna get the ball to the wide open receiver who he should have got the ball to. You know,
Sam Howell
Like,
know what he's doing.
that's- I just think I think
Doing
he's
what to do.
I think
7-0.
Sam Howell is susceptible to being defeated. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, sure.
and I think that
He's only started
they
5
can,
games.
They can get this dub.
It's really not much of a statement.
It's not.
It's not.
Which is why I don't think it's that much of a statement. For
It's
me to
not
say the
crazy.
Bears,
It's
I
just
think
rude.
are gonna edge
That's
them
all.
out. I don't feel like that's much of a statement.
Just try to get back and pick them. That's all it is.
I I get it.
That's
It makes sense.
He is down bad.
Game
Whatever.
Hey,
It be like that sometimes. Can't relate.
His picks aren't good. I'm gonna let y'all know.
no. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna talk like I wasn't the champ last year.
That's
So
last
I'm
year.
gonna need
But that's
y'all to
last
just-
He was the champ
Yeah,
last
but
year.
y'all making it sound like I'm just this. I'm never good at picks. Like let's
No,
just
I'm
calm
saying
that
this year.
down.
We talking about this
What
year.
Okay,
are
as
you-
long as you say this year, put a preface
believe-
on it.
I believe
Not
he's-
this
Good
year.
at picks
I believe
this year.
he's
Do
like-
not trust this
I believe he's like
man
what
this
10th.
season.
I'm about to look right now. I'm pulling it up. Look it up.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Wow.
So-
We doing this.
So if we're going bottom up in the picks,
It's crazy.
tied for 12th is Roger and Rod. Damn.
Woof.
35 total picks correct.
That's
At
disgusting.
11 is Cordell with 37.
Are we really going all the way up?
No, we're just going to stop at Cordell.
Okay, yeah, we stop at
Makes
quarter.
sense.
Okay.
Or 11 or 13.
11.
Not-
You know I'm the top. Other than C-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Pause.
Queese number 2. Damn. Queese number 2, 45. 2 behind C-Mac. Doing a great job.
Doing great.
All right, no
We
need
in
to
the
get
middle.
into all this personal stuff. So,
I'm about to say you want to
You
show
know
all the
what?
buffoonery off top. You might as well just keep it rolling for this.
so that's gonna do it for today's episode of Outspoken. For those who are following us on YouTube, again, please like and subscribe. But for our
Like it.
Patreons,
Subscribe.
Oh.
you already know what the
We
deal
still
is.
haven't got their noun right.
We're gonna.
I don't like the Patreon. Yeah, go ahead.
Not only like and subscribe, but spread the word.
Let them
Yes.
know. We
Let
the
people
Outspoken
know
Network.
that Outspoken is here, and this is
Help
the
me.
show you want to watch.
Help us.
And
Tell
put-
your
put
friends
in
to
the
tell their
comments
friends to tell their
that he needs to
friends
stop touching the mic.
Maybe we can all be
to
friends.
tell their grandmama
'Cause it don't
and
belong
their
to him.
aunts and stuff, and
We can
like,
do
tell
this every
everybody.
week.
That's
You know what I'm
actually
saying?
my mic. That's crazy.
I don't.
I bought that.
But
mic.
All
it,
right.
My money.
but
So
it,
again-
And here you-
it,
bruh.
it always finds itself in my hand.
No, it doesn't.
So again, thank y'all. See y'all soon. Live Monday.